Hi guys, my name is Levi. I own a six-figure pay-per-lead agency. I switched from retainer last year, and now I just want to make sure in this video you guys know the different sources you can be generating leads. Generate a lead for 20 and you sell it for 40. And the difference is you're not really selling to local businesses anymore. Those typically you charge retainers, right? 3K a month, 3K at max, maybe 4K in a high ticket service vertical like roofing. But specifically, what paper lead essentially is you generate using those qualified sources for cheap, and then you sell them at a margin, and you basically arbitrage that margin. At the end of the video, you'll just know exactly if you should learn Meta, YouTube, or Google, or any other traffic sources to yield you the best results in pay per lead. But essentially, for email and SMS, it's super hyper specific, right? So if you have a really good database of consumers send out email SMS, it's the cheapest, right? At scale, it costs less, but it's really good for hyper specific verticals like SaaS subscriptions or like window installments in a specific 20 to 30 mile radius, right? Moving on to Meta and Google ads, I mean, those are the big boy leagues, right? With Meta ads specifically, you should always start out with Meta ads, in my opinion, because nowadays everybody just uses social media, right? Whether you're a complete big, like freaking 18-year-old or a CEO, that 60-year-old millionaire. Everybody uses Meta ads. You can reach the most people with it, and it's so much easier to learn than Google ads. And what's great about Meta ads is that you can essentially be able to find all of the best advertising creatives on the internet with a tool like AdSpy, right? You can just go onto the tool, basically search from like 30, 300 to like whatever likes you want, and then it's just gonna show you all the ads that are working in a specific market and vertical. So with Meta ads, what I'm trying to say is you will have the highest likelihood of success as a beginner. Now, with Google Ads, I like to be completely frank, I don't even know how to run Google Ads. I want to learn it this year, right? So I cannot comment on it, but I know for a fact that Google Ads leads are way more qualitative because they have the intent and they went specifically on the search bar, typed it in to search for it to solve a specific problem. So way higher quality, and their conversion rate like is double that of Meta, right? So think 10 out of like 100 people become customers on Meta in the best case scenario, and maybe on Google's like 20 out of 100, which is double, but it also costs usually double the price. Now with Meta, you have Facebook and IG, right? With Google search ads, you have basically people search for it, and then you can bid on certain keywords, right? So you give it like you bid on different keywords, and then based on your bid, you win, or basically you need to like I actually have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. Just look up a Google guide on it, okay? But I just know it's way higher quality, and that as somebody starting out, Meta is the easiest to learn. Now you have also display ads, which are basically shown on random ass websites throughout all the internet. Those are typically not that great with pay per lead because there's not much intent behind them, right? But if you're in a vertical like gambling or crypto, which I don't recommend, it might work. Now with YouTube ads, that's super interesting because typically leads from YouTube ads are way more quality than Meta ads, right? Because the YouTube ads, people are also they searching for an active problem, trying to find a solution, right? They search YouTube videos, and the intent is not as high as Google, but it is way higher than Meta. So you need to think of quality like Google here, YouTube here, and then Meta is here. So somewhere in between, and the principle is the same, right? You get those 5 minute, like you see like 5 seconds unskippable ads, right? Those are long form YouTube ads. So you need to make 1 to 3 minutes long, or the ones on short form YouTube ads. So it's basically YouTube Shorts, YouTube Reels, and you scroll and there are ads there. And typically the best results you get from these long form unskippable YouTube ads. So I recommend first Meta, YouTube, and then Google. In that sequence, you should be able to learn it, right? And then here we have SEO comparison sites. Now for Paperly, what is interesting is that comparison sites have the highest amount of intent, right? Those are going to generate you the best quality leads because people go onto these sites they're already like bottom of funnel. They're already like ready to make a decision and just need to compare the companies. And they also trust, there's a trust element with the comparison side, because consumers like me, like 5 years ago, I thought comparison sites were good Samaritans just trying to show you the best companies, right? And then I figured out the fucking whole world operates on how much money you make, and brainwashing consumers into buying shit that they actually don't need. So comparison sites are a really good product, and marketing company to build once you have the skill sets, right? Like you can build something out, um, over like 2 3 years and have it develop into a 7-figure business quite easily, because it has such a low customer acquisition cost, because you get the you don't need to pay for the traffic essentially for basically like the technical infrastructure, so don't worry about that now, but you need to pay for like backlinks and stuff to make the website like uh, make it recognizable to Google, so Google shows the website to actual people, right? So comparison sites, really good infrastructure, super sellable pay per lead business, highest margin as well because you get free visitors essentially, and then they can turn into very very high paying customers, and you can sell those customers to big corporate companies, right? So an instance would be like a guy I believe bought the name research.com for 1.2 million, and he already made, like, that was like 3 years ago, and he already made a positive return on investment, and he's like basically selling leads to, I believe, like educational entities like corporate businesses or colleges tuition. So this is a comparison side, right? They're basically selling these leads to colleges and other institutions. I don't know how this industry works, but I know it is pretty profitable as well, because if you can like basically sell leads to people that have money, in this case colleges, then you make money, right? And organic content also works, but here like an example is, for instance, in gold IRA, which is a specific vertical where you're basically trying to get retirees to diversify a part of their retirement savings into gold. So think they have like 100 grand saved up in their retirement portfolio. You're trying to get 50 of that into gold because of war and stuff, and stability and hedge against inflation, right? And you're looking at like super conservative old people, millionaires, and super competitive vertical. And you have a lot of streamers there trying to build trust with this target segment, so they can basically get leads that trust them and sell them to the companies or the gold IRA companies, and they're willing to pay like 200, 300, $400 per qualified lead, and on top of that, revenue shares, so 8 to 10%, which is incredible because the gold IRR deals go into the 5 figures easily. And then obviously with blog content, you can also generate leads with SEO and with like well written blogs, right? So this is a very short overview. I have a Telegram chat and Instagram. I'm super talkative, so if you have any questions, go hit me up. And I do offer one-on-one consulting if you want to switch to retainer, because you believe that you're basically in a glorified job that's very high paying, and you can do way better with pay per lead. Just watch my other videos.